Jules here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, September 18th. I'm not as far ahead as I would like on the commission quilt. However, I did get the back piece this weekend. I bought 4 yards of that black herb fabric. This, how long is this? 21 inches by 2 3/4 inches. This is all of the backing fabric that's left. Mind you, I will, when I trim it down for binding, I'm sure there will be some left over, but I think that's pretty impressive. I did a good job doing 4 yards. Hip Stitch, the quilt shop that I like to go to that's nearby, they have a club called the Fabric Club that you can join. You sign up for their emails and all that kind of stuff. And if you buy 3 yards, you get the 4th yard free. So that's one of the reasons why I buy 4 yards instead of 3. Because even if I only need 3 yards, I buy 4 because the 4th yard is free. Not going to help me reduce my stash, but in a case like this, I'm using it all anyway. Other stuff going on, the Project Linus Mystery Quilt Challenge just started. The first clues came out this past weekend. And I did sign up for that. I had talked about it last year and I meant to do it, and then I missed the beginning and I was doing other things and I just forgot all about it. This year, it seems to have a sweets, pastries, kind of candy, treats kind of theme. The first week patterns came out, and they actually, because they were fairly easy, they released 2 blocks, and one of them was like a cake, a big layered cake, and the other one was donuts. So spoilers, sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. But it was released last weekend, so they're doing a new one every weekend. I'm not sure exactly when it ends. And I was planning to use all the same fabric. I thought about just using, you know, they said you just need a total of 3 yards fabric, but you could use scrappy neutrals for your background. And I don't have a lot of neutrals I like. And I was thinking, it sounded like it was going to be something to do with either sweets, based on the name, or flowers. And so with that in mind, none of my background fabrics, they're either like a solid white, which I really am not a fan of using solids for background fabrics. I like using them for binding. So I went to Joann's and last Friday at lunch, and I thought, I'll buy a neutral fabric. And I was going to just dig through the remnant bin, and I did that. And I found a couple of whites, and one like cream on white that I was going to buy, but I just didn't love them. And I was about to give up and leave, and I went through the premium quilting cottons again, and came across this, which I hope you can see it, because it's a really nice and subtle. It's actually like cherry blossoms in different sizes, in like whites and creams, or kind of a cream to, I don't know, it's a weird color, but it's definitely neutral. Now that I've seen the blocks, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. You know how it goes. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but we'll see. But I have 3 yards of it, so I have neutral fabric now. I kind of feel guilty starting the quilt along with this not being done yet, so I kind of feel like I need to do that. But I really want to make the blocks, so I don't know. And then this past weekend, when I should have been cleaning my machine and oiling it so that I could get ready to quilt, I was finishing this crochet blanket. I don't know if you can see it or not, but for Project Linus. It's a scrappy one. It actually started out with the little orange squares, the giant bin of granny squares from, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. I don't know how long it's been. I feel like I've had them forever. I know that's not true, but it had these orange squares in them, and they were a different size than all of the other squares. I still have a few other ones that were different size. These were all the same size as each other, and there were only 5 of them. And so I crocheted a border on 4 of them, sewed those blocks together, crocheted around the middle lone orange block, and then crocheted all 5 of them together into a big rectangle, and then I started doing a granny square stitch around to make a big rectangle blanket. So that's what it is. I've been using up yarn from my stash, and I finished with this one here just because I felt like it needed a pop of color. Of course, because I'm so gung-ho about crochet, I started another blanket. But this time, I want to use up the yarn I have. I could donate it, but I like crocheting when I'm watching football and sometimes just like binge watching, which is what I did this weekend. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. But, yeah, so I just did the sideways shell, the Project Linus sideways shell again. So there's that. That's coming along. That'll be my weekend crochet project. Hopefully I'll have some Project Linus challenge blocks to show you next week. It's not too late to join in. Obviously they've already released the first clue, but you can catch up. Just go to projectlinus.org and look for the Mystery Quilt. And you can, it's only $15 to join. That goes to Project Linus, and if you have a Project Linus chapter in your area, or if you have a friend who has one in their area, you want it to benefit them, just put the name of the chapter. It asks you for the name of the chapter that you would like it to benefit in the registration form. The name of my chapter, in case you wanted to do that, and you don't have a chapter of your own, is Bernalillo County, New Mexico. Bernalillo is BERNALILLO, and we would welcome it. So, no pressure. Everybody have a crafty week, have a safe week, and I will see you next week. Bye!